Hey there, friends. I am Arun Pereira, pastor at Redeeming Grace Church, and I am so happy you are joining me today. We know that life is busy. Maybe you are a young adult figuring out the next step, or a parent juggling family and work. Wherever you are at, I've got something for you from a sermon that I preached called Living Rightly as Children of God. That is a sermon from Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 12. It's part of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount series. And in 5 minutes, I'll share how being saved changes everything. Because it makes us God's children. So let's dive in. Imagine Jesus teaching a crowd, wrapping up some of his deepest lessons. He's been showing us what life looks like when we are saved. Not just forgiven, but brought into God's family as his children. You see, that is the core of salvation. Salvation isn't about rules or earning points. It's about a Father who loves us, adopts us, and says, "Now you are my child." All because of what Christ has done for you and I. And in Matthew chapter 7, 1 through 12, Jesus gives us some practical ways to live that salvation life. Ways that shines God's light in the world. First, he says, "Judge not, that you be not judged." You've heard that one, right? It's not about ignoring sins or pretending everything is fine. You see, it's a heart posture. Jesus calls out the religious folks back, the ones that judge everyone, acting superior, and it's a semi-rebuke to them. But as God's children, we are different. Because God has shown us mercy, thereby we show each other mercy. We didn't deserve salvation. It is a free gift God has given us. So instead of pointing fingers, we show compassion, praying for one another, serving with one another, caring for one another. Because we have been receiving those same things. That's the point Jesus is trying to make here. And then Jesus shifts gears and he says this, "Don't throw pearls to pigs." Sounds odd, but there's deep wisdom in this. You see, the pearl is the gospel, God's love, his kingdom. Not everyone is ready for it. Some might even trample it. As God's children, we share Jesus and his love with discernment, knowing that it's a treasure. Knowing when we speak, and we also have to have the wisdom and knowing when to wait. It's about carrying this treasure carefully, trusting in God's sovereign timing. Next, Jesus says, "Ask, seek, and knock." You see, it's when we are able to knock, this is not about asking for stuff, earthly things that can rust away or just vanish like a vapor. It's about the things that matters. God's kingdom, his righteousness, God's love and peace, God's life. Why? Because our Father loves to give good things to his children. Think about it. If we, imperfect as we are, want the best for our children or our loved ones, how much more a loving God? As His children, we can come before Him boldly, trusting in His goodness, knowing that He wants the best for His children and He wants to give good things. Finally, Jesus shares the golden rule. Do to others what you want done to you. It's a simple yet powerful verse. You see, as God's children, we have received grace, God's kindness, God's agape love. Thereby, now as God's children, we are able to share that with others. God has provided us mercy, thereby we show each other mercy. God has given us grace, thereby we show each other grace. Give it. It's not about waiting for others to make the first move. You see, we make the first move because God has made the ultimate first move. It's living out the life of our Father. This is what glorifies God. So here's the heart of it. Being saved means you are God's children, not an outsider and not a rule follower, but you are a family member in God's family. And Jesus shows us how to live this kind of life. You see, this is the core of Christian discipleship. Jesus is teaching us how to live this kind of new life in Christ. It's a life that reflects our Father's heart. Matthew 7:12 ties it back to loving God and others. You see, because that's who we are now. If this message resonates with you, come join us at Redeeming Grace Church. We meet every Sunday from 10 to 11:30 in Ruritan building in Leitersburg, Maryland. It's right between Smithsburg and Hagerstown. And if you want to find more information about our church, it's rgcmd.org. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions about these messages, just log on to our, jump onto our website and send us a message, or come meet us in person. Thanks for checking us out. God bless you, and hope to see you next time.